Hey guys, welcome back to PodX, where my promise to you is to try and find guests that will help you find awakening, growth, techniques, skills, and to even open your minds out to a different perception. Today's guest is just like that, none other than Elena Fernandes, someone with whom I have had a few online conversations and have been waiting to do this podcast with her. She is an actress, model, and influencer. She has features in the most internationally acclaimed magazines such as Vogue, Maxim, GQ, and Harpers Bazaar, as well as landing huge advertising campaigns with powerhouses Adidas and FILA. She has also worked in multiple Bollywood movies like Kapoor and Sons, Badla, Housefull, and Jawaani Janaeman. She runs her own charity, I Am Change. She has also done a TED Talk. Today, I am inspired by her career as an actor and her philosophy on life. Elena, thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you so
This
much,
really means a lot.
honestly. That was so sweet. Thank you.
That was so sweet. Thank you.
I'm very happy to be doing it.
So I want to start
I'm
on.
happy to be doing it.
This is like the first time I met. I remember how I really spoke to you the first time. It was through a comment. So I came across who you were through a newspaper article, and then I just checked out who you were on Instagram. And then I remember you were replying to all the comments. So I commented, I was just like trying to see if I would get a reply back, and I was like, this is so cool. Then I got a reply back. So why do you do that? I'm just curious. There are so many other celebrities who don't do that.
The fans make you who you are. You know, they're so supportive of your career that, I like to speak to them, because I'm just like them. So it's nice to have that engagement. It's nice to talk to them, So I like that whole element of interactiveness.
Yeah, that's actually what he told me, and I was like super excited. And then the next thing which I did, I think a month or two later, I mailed you, and your team got back. And that to me was like the first celebrity getting back, and I was like super excited.
That's very sweet.
That actually means a lot.
That's very sweet.
So I want to start off with this question, which is really strange. I don't think you've been asked. So you were like a super geek. That's what you claim to be. So how did you like get into fashion?
Studying is my thing. I love it.
How do you become a supermodel? Like from super geek to supermodel, how did you reach that? What made you change your mind and your perception?
I didn't change my mind. It was just, I got scouted and then everything kind of I went along with the ride. And as I was going on this ride, I was still studying and still doing my education. So I kind of combined the both. And here we are today.
But did you like always wanted to be an actor and model, or did you have like something else planned out?
I wanted, and I still want to eventually work in, the government sector or something like that. But I always wanted to make a change, and, I've always done charity work. Now this platform of, Bollywood and modeling has given me a bigger platform to make a difference with my charities, to raise awareness, to talk about different subjects. And I feel that, that way I'm able to make a change.
Yeah, I've been keeping up on your social media platforms, and it's really cool the way, people actually, it's so cool. No one actually DMs a celebrity saying that my cat is injured or my dog is injured or something. While they DM you, they look up to you and they're like, Elena will be able to help, which is really cool.
As you're messaging me, I've got someone who was messaging me about a dog that was injured. So I've been dealing with that. That's why we were a little bit delayed with the podcast. Because that's what I was dealing with.
That's what I was.
Yeah, it was fine, because if you're saving a life, that's really cool. What do you do?
Oh no, it's
one of the things which... Sorry?
I think it's just very important, to make a difference. To help where you can help. Sorry, I just had to send them, like, they wanted to know where this puppy was, so I just had to send them the location. And I'm all the way in London, and this puppy's all the way in Bombay. But I was just.
How do you help out in Bombay? Like, if people from different parts of the country or the world, when they DM you, how do you help them out? I'm curious about that process.
Well, the thing is that when you're a model, you get to travel like to lots of different places. So you meet a lot of people, you make a lot of friends, and even through social media, you meet and you create a lot of friends through social media. So you kind of build on your support network. So in Bombay, I have several fosters that I work with, and, we try and just, I don't know, where there's a will, there's a way, and you just figure it out. So right now there was an injured
So
puppy
you like
in
caught it.
Kalina, and I just so happened to open my Facebook, and I saw one of my fosters had literally 10 minutes ago had posted about this puppy that had been run over by a rickshaw, and they were trying to look for funding and for like emergency help. So I saw it. I sent her the vet that I use, and he has like a small section where he can keep animals for longer post-op. And then I sent on another group of someone that I met in London who's currently in Bombay, saying to send out to his donors to try and generate the funds. So it was a process.
And you yourself also donate a lot of money, I think. You also donate a lot of your money.
Yeah,
Why do you do that?
I do.
Everyone in this world, everyone's like chasing money and all that stuff, and you're like, yo, I need to do this and help out everyone.
Because I
So what
believe
makes you take that decision?
Because I believe it's the right thing to do. As a human being, you have a responsibility for other humans around you. There's no point of having like so much money, for what reason? You want to be able to share it. You want to be able to do good with it. There's only so many clothes and shoes and bags and things that you can have.
That was actually nice to know. So this is one of the things which has really been running in my mind is like due to your career you have to travel a lot and you travel alone. So how do you deal with it, like staying away from family and all that?
So a lot of WhatsApp and sometimes when you're in different time zones that can make it quite difficult. But again, I've got like a good strong set of friends that have been with me throughout my journey. And sometimes I can go weeks without speaking to them, but I know they're still there for me. That's when you know it's a true friendship. So, but also I think it's about spending time by yourself, getting to know more about yourself, picking up different hobbies, reading, learning a skill, writing. There's so many things that you can do. You just have to start.
So, like when you're in front of the camera and among fans and all, people have this rush of adrenaline, which is insane. And then going back to normality is very difficult. And it's a completely different thing. And it's really hard sometimes for us to empathize with people like yours. So, like, we feel, like, from our perception, it seems really cool and amazing. But we really don't know what happens within y'all when y'all try to normalize and all that stuff. So what happens to y'all and how do y'all deal with it?
For me, I find it insane to even have fans, but for me it's just I've just always been me.
You have a lot of fans, just so that a lot of people DM me and they're like, oh, you're so lucky you're getting to do a podcast with
that's
her and all.
really
I wish
sweet.
I could do it and all.
Is
You have a
really
lot
sweet.
of fans.
For me, that just feels surreal, you even saying that to me. I mean, I just do my thing, I could have this conversation with you face to face and I would still be the exact same person. And, compared to how I am at home with my cats. So what you get is authenticity. What you see is what you get, basically.
But so does it feel difficult to get back to normality though?
Yeah, when you're in the bubble and you have the fans and you're in this kind of crazy bubble, it can get a bit overwhelming because you're just like, wow, this is something completely different. And then when you're with your kind of like, I would say your normal friends who just know you for just you, they don't know you as this model or this actress or anything else. They just know you as Elena. It just feels a bit like, okay, this is strange. I can't explain it. Sometimes it just feels like a surreal experience.
But it's fun, right? Like
it's fun.
when you're hanging out with your friends and all that stuff is really fun. And then how are you the same person when you're with your friends and when you're with your people who you work with?
Yes.
Co-workers or something?
Yes, I am. I'd say probably with my co-workers, I'm obviously more professional. But when you build up that rapport and you develop that friendship, then it's kind of just like hanging out with your friends.
So in your TED talk, I heard your TED talk, the whole thing. It was really nice.
Oh, thank
And
you.
it's Goa.
Thank
It was
you.
cool. So in your TED talk, you said you were really obsessed with your weight, and in your earlier days of modeling, you used to consume like 500 calories of food a day and burning 2,000.
Yeah.
So could you tell us about that a bit?
So for me, I was staying in the US. I was working there, and I had to fit a certain size, and I had a deadline. So I burnt the candle at both ends, to the point where when I look back at pictures now, I can't believe how skinny, like how unhealthily skinny I was. And whereas now, actually, you'll even see today on social media, I did a story just before we spoke, whilst trying to circulate about this dog as well, about, you know, people who fat shame or say that being fat or being too skinny is an issue. Whereas people should just focus on being healthy and being happy. So I don't weigh myself, I don't measure myself or anything like that. If the clothes fit, then great. If they don't fit, well, then someone has to fix the outfit. I'm not fixing myself, you know?
But how would people deal with it? You know, there are a lot of things which happen right now, cyberbullying, due to people just being overweight. They get a lot of negative comments due to that without them actually doing anything. It's not even their fault.
I know.
And what would you advise them? Like, how should
I
they
would
deal with
advise
those
them that they are fabulous, that a label cannot determine who you are. You determine who you are. And if people are going to gossip about you, then you know something, it shows that you're all that they can think about. That they can't talk about anything else because you're the number one in their life. That they just have to talk about you. So it's just like, chalaga, fine. If you're going to talk, then talk. You're still going to be fabulous. No matter your shape or size, you're still fabulous. You are today's news because you are the main thing in these people's lives.
I'm actually going to tell that to someone who, if someone ever comes up to me, telling me about that problem, I'm going to use that. That's going to be helpful. But I'll say that as my line. I won't say Elena told me. I'll say I got it out from my mind.
We'll do it as a hashtag. It should be though. Like, you know, if people are always going to have an opinion of you. Their opinion doesn't come with payment, you know? So let them have their opinions. If they want to talk about you, then that's, you know, your headline news in their lives. So chalaga, fine. Be headline news.
So, you were like super workaholic and you used to continuously put in more and more time. You were like, okay, I'll stop working afterwards. I'll put in more effort now and I'll take a break later and all that stuff. So, were there like any problems which you faced with that, and what problems? Like,
I feel that sometimes because I am such a workaholic that I don't take time to breathe and just rest. So when people say to me, oh, why don't you meditate? I don't know how to because I don't know how to switch off. But during this lockdown period, I've been able to just sleep. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know, people feel bad if they take too much time for themselves, but that's fine. If you want to sleep for 2 days in a row, then sleep for 2 days in a row. You're under no pressure or no duty to achieve some sort of skill or, you know, develop a ripped body or, you know, to achieve anything during this period. You're just supposed to do you and live your life just for you. If you want to binge on Netflix for a week, binge on Netflix for a week. You're under no duty to do anything else. But if you want to learn a new skill, then learn a new skill.
I wanted to ask you something related to sleep. So everyone thinks if you sleep like for 4 hours or 6 hours, it's really cool and that you're hustling and all that stuff, it looks cool and all that stuff. But, you know, actually I believe 8 hours sleep is really important.
Yeah.
But people look at other people's lifestyle and they're like, okay, I need to sleep 4 hours and okay, I'll put in the effort. But then our productivity reduces due to that. So have you experienced that due to less hours of sleep, you had a lower productivity and then you felt if you had an 8 hour sleep, it would have been better?
I mean, some people don't have the opportunity to get 8 hours of sleep. So I don't feel it's about how much time you sleep. It's about what you do with the time when you wake up. It's about how productive you actually are, you know, because not everyone has the luxury that they can sleep for 8 hours. You know, some people maybe have to work 2 jobs and they don't get home from 2 a.m., but then they have to be up at 6 a.m. and so forth. So it's just about how productive you are in the time that you are awake.
So I wanted to actually, in your TED talk, you had said due to consuming 500 calories a day, you would become very grumpy and snappy at people for no reason.
Yeah.
And you were like trying to find this self-medication during that time. So let's dive in, if you don't mind, let's dive into the transition.
Yeah.
Like, tell me about the transformation, because that is really important, because no matter what financial condition we are in or what status we are in, everyone does not really like that condition of yours, because it's like a jail. So tell me about your experience of releasing yourself from that jail.
I think it's about grumpiness. I mean, for me, I know that during that stage, because I was eating so little and training so hard, that's not the kind of natural form that I should be. So when I discovered kind of my worth, it kind of clicked in my head that, hold on, I've achieved all of this. I've done all of this. I am a somebody. I know what my worth is. Something just clicked. And I just thought, I'm going to do things my way because this is my life and I want to be happy. I'm not here to make everyone else happy. First and foremost, I'm here to make myself happy. And that's the main thing, because if you're making everyone around you happy, you're never going to be happy. So it really is about loving yourself and figuring what you want to do and what direction you want to go in. That's the main thing.
But there are like some people who really love what they do,
Yeah.
but then they beat them up to a really high extent, which causes health problems to them.
Yeah.
What about that? Like, they love their job, but then they are over pushing it and they're beating themselves up too much.
I mean, I'm also like that. I'm a very tough critic on myself, but I think it does take time where you have to take a step back and see that sometimes it's not sustainable. You are going to burn out, and that if you want to continue doing what you love, you need to find a more productive way to go about it. And there's always a way, because where there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah, there's actually this weird thing about almost all of us. Everyone wants to achieve success really fast.
Yeah.
We all want like 3 steps to become a millionaire.
I mean,
or 5
that's
minutes to
also
become
like
a
the
millionaire,
media.
something like that.
The media and social
But-
media make you think that you can be a millionaire. You don't need to work. You can just do this, or you can just
Yeah,
be on
I
TV
get a lot of
and then you're
advertisements
famous.
like that on my feed.
Yeah.
Which is like, learn Bitcoin and become a millionaire in a year and all. But
Yeah.
no one really goes to a bookstore and buys a book that says
Yeah.
like 17 years to success and all
Yeah,
that stuff.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What is your say on that?
Success isn't instant, because the quicker you rise, the quicker you fall. In order to have some longevity, you have to really work at it. Like if you look at like an Akshay or a Shah Rukh or a Salman, they've been doing this for what, 20, 25 years. They really graft every day. They treat it as if it's their first day. It's not a race, it's a marathon. It's a long journey. It's a consistent long journey.
Yeah, I agree with you on that part. Even though I'm like, sometimes I look up there and I'm like, okay, my podcast will be big. I want my podcast to be big in 1 week. And then there are parts of me which is like, no, I'll wait for 5 years. It doesn't matter. I don't have anything much to do other than study.
You know something? It takes time, but you're also building a strong foundation. You're building your contacts. You're building your content. You're building your audience. That way, even in 5-10 years' time, the people who are listening to your podcast now are still going to be listening to you in 5 and 10 years' time.
Hopefully.
Yes, they will be. Don't worry. You'll be interviewing me again in another 5 or 10 years. And we'll be like, oh, do you remember when we had this conversation, our first podcast?
Oh, I really look forward to it. If you're in Goa, I would really love to meet you when you drop down in Goa.
I know, 100%.
I know,
100%.
100%.
So there's something which I really wanted to talk to you about
Okay.
with you, and like I experienced it too. There's this kind of never-ending cycle of what's next. Like with me, I'm always chasing about who should I try as a guest to get as a guest in my podcast. And I had a thought about this, about how can I continue doing this stuff, keep being active, because we can't sit down and do nothing.
Yeah.
So like my question to you is, how are you continuing to pursue any pursuit or whatever it may be, while continuing to connect with simplicity and happiness in the moment, and keeping that balance of two things?
So I've basically taken a time out right now to reassess, okay, what do I want to do? Is there one thing I want to do, or are there several things I want to do? Sometimes I do believe in living for the moment, but I also like having a plan. So every day I structure, for example, I do like a to-do list. Okay, this is what I'm doing on Monday. This is what I'm doing on Tuesday. Even on Monday, it could be something simple as, okay, I need to make these 4 phone calls. On Tuesday, I need to send these 5 emails, because these emails will help me to get to this. On Wednesday, I want to create content for, TikTok. On Thursday, I want to create some content for Instagram. It's about structuring your time and figuring out what direction do you want to go in. And just because if you get a no or if you get a rejection doesn't mean it's the end of your story. You just have to take a different path and go down a different route.
So that's like being ambitious while still remaining happy, grounded, and present.
Exactly. Because you're not overloading yourself, but you're still pushing yourself, but you're not drowning.
How do we like remain patient in this fast-paced environment? Like we forget, like as kids we were very non-judgmental. As when people are kids, they fall down one time and they have the patience and they start walking again. But if right now we make a mistake once, we're like, okay, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm done with this. So is it like possible if we can have that same childish mindset or something?
I mean, you can. I think it's because as you get older, you become more aware of your surroundings. So you kind of develop a natural competition, like a natural competitiveness, sorry. So you're more aware of, society. You're aware of like, oh, you have to do this by this age, or you have to have done this by that age. So I think by blocking everything out and focusing solely on you and your goals and not what you should be doing according to society and according to other people around you, then you can have that childlike mentality.
But how do we remove it? Because if we do anything, society is always going to say something about it.
Yeah, but
and
society
it's
is
difficult to
always going
remove
to
it out
say
from our
something
mind.
anyway. Society are always going to say something. You just have to decide not to listen. That's the thing. You have to make that choice of thinking, Hojenga, what will be will be. People will always say something. Even when you do something amazing, someone will always say something. You have to literally accept that you don't care. If you see my Insta story now, it's me saying, I don't care. I don't care what people think of me because their opinion does not come with a paycheck. So why should I let their comments affect my life or affect my direction? The only opinion that matters is the one that I think of myself. And right now I'm like, you're doing good, kid. You're doing good.
Thank you. So this is a way random question, but just came up in my mind. When you worked in Bollywood films, how do you fix the language barrier?
You learn and you learn and you learn. They give you a script and you learn and you learn and you learn. Practice.
Are you comfortable with Hindi now?
Not really. I'm comfortable when they give me a script to learn the Hindi, but if speaking casually, I can swear. I can put together basic sentences, but otherwise, no. But it's a work in progress.
So, what do you think about failure? Like, how have you dealt with it in the past? Each one of us has faced failure, but we don't know how to react to it. So, how have you dealt with it? And what has been your failure?
I think failures, we've grown up to think that failure is bad. Whereas failure isn't bad. It just means you need to take a step back and reassess the calculation. You've just made a judgment error. Take one step back, look at the problem again and think, oh, okay, let me try this route instead. Failure gives you the opportunity to grow. Because it's the same as when people are scared of trying something new. They're scared of trying something new because it's new. They're not used to it. But you can't take yourself to the next level if you don't push yourself. And you can only grow through failure and through doing new things. Otherwise, you'll just plateau. You'll be in the same situation. You'll be in the same spot.
What about rejection? Like something sometimes
rejection
we feel
is
that
the
we
same
actually
thing.
deserve something, but then we didn't get it. How do you deal with it?
Hey, you try again. If you really want something, you keep trying and trying and trying. You work harder. You work differently. You work more productively. I've been rejected so many times, but it doesn't stop me from living my dream and doing what I want to do. You just knock on a different door. You can be rejected 1,000,000 times, you get back up. And you keep going.
What has been your darkest experience in the world of acting and modeling?
Darkest experience?
Yeah, darkest.
There's nothing really that I would describe as dark, to be honest with you, because I think there's bad things that happen in all different industries. I know the fashion and film industry come under scrutiny for sleaze and the Me Too movement, but that happens in all sectors. It would happen whether you're in, in the legal sector, in the IT sector. So I think it would be unfair to say that there's like particularly dark things in the fashion and film.
No, I'm talking about you. Have you experienced anything about dark? If you've had a dark experience in this industry.
No, I mean, the dark things I experience is when I deal with animal cruelty. Those are my biggest kind of issues, because you see such extreme like animal cruelty of what people do to animals, that those are my darkest experiences. Because these are defenseless creatures.
About animal cruelty, and coming to that, what's a philanthropist? Could you explain that in common language?
So basically, you just want to help. You just want to help anyone and everyone who needs help or who don't know that they need help. You want to be able to make a difference. You want everyone to kind of be on an equal level playing field. You want to make a difference. You want to make a change. So basically, it's about the fact that everyone can make a change. Like everyone can make a difference. It just takes that one step to make a difference. That's it. That you can do one small act of kindness and that can change another person's world. You can smile at the street kid who never even gets acknowledged, and you've given that kid hope. Everyone can practice an act of kindness.
So, Elena, could you tell us a bit about yourself, which is not available on the internet?
I don't know. There's a lot of things available on the internet. I would say that a lot of people know that I'm a homebody, and I'm actually a very quiet, like shy person. I get nervous before I do a lot of my interviews. Nothing really, because people ask me a lot of questions and I just answer them, because what you see is what you get. So I would say just that I'm a very kind of solitude like type of person. I like being by myself. Sometimes it's nice having company, like when I speak on the phone, but otherwise, like, I'm good with my pets.
Well, doesn't it get scary? Like, for me, the thought of being alone is really afraid.
No, you shouldn't be scared. You shouldn't be scared of being alone. You should find happiness in your own solitude. Because there's nothing wrong with it. I go to restaurants by myself. I go to the cinema by myself.
So, you've worked with some of the biggest actors in Bollywood, like Ranveer Singh, Akshay Kumar. How has your experience been in that?
Oh, I think they're incredible. They're legends. Their talent is just breathtakingly just brilliant. Like Ranveer is a phenomenal actor. Akshay can transition from serious film to comedy. They're Bollywood legends. Thank you, honestly, so much.
It really means a lot.
Oh no, thank you so much.
Do you want to tell them to subscribe? They might listen to you.
Yes. Okay, so everyone, please like and subscribe to Ayush's podcast. You will not regret it.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you